Good morning, folks. Thanks for joining us on our Votacall One webinar series. We're your hosts. I'm Kyle. I'm a project manager with Votacall. I onboard brand new customers, and I see some of you with us today, so thanks for joining. And
Hi.
our co-host today, and as always, is Dan the Phone Man.
Hi, everybody. Dan the Phone Man. I do lots of different stuff. So I'm just here to, help guide you guys into some of the things that Votacall has to offer. So thank you for being here.
Excellent. So recently we did My Votacall portal overviews for admins. We did one for end users. We did one for call center supervisors. And today we're going to take a look at call center agents. 'Tis the season for call center agents, actually. We have several retail customers who hire seasonal employees to handle the influx of calls for the holidays. So this is perfect timing for it. We're going to explain a little bit more, but call center agents doesn't have to specifically be for call center environments. We use them for different scenarios, which we'll explain a little bit more here shortly. But as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to support@votacall.com or myself or Dan. We'll always be glad to hop on a call to go over these things with you as well.
Absolutely.
Before we jump
into this.
Go.
Well, we had crossed our wires there. But before we jump in, guys, again, thanks for being here. Don't forget, Votacall is a 24/7, 365 support-based organization, and that support is free for you guys. Before we jump in, though, let's talk a little bit about some of the icons down at the bottom of the screen. You have got your links tab. By the way, if I mention any of these, you don't see them, click on apps. It just has to do with your screen size. So you've got your links tab where you're going to see links to the webinars. We record all of these and we will post either today's or tomorrow's, depending on whether we cross our wires up, I guess, up there and get it right. We also have a link to our support, to our LinkedIn page. And if you could go over there, if you haven't gone over there and followed us and liked us there, we'd appreciate it. To the My Votacall portal, where we're going to be going today, to our training library, and to our customer love page. So, as we always say to people, we make a little plea here. I help run that customer love page. So, we're not a big marketing engine. So, we tell our stories through our customers telling their stories. So if you want to join us on the customer love page, please do. You'll also see a polls tab there. And if you want to go over there, we had a little fun with it with the holiday coming up next week. We wanted to figure out what you guys like best about Thanksgiving, or at least the food of Thanksgiving. Also just keep in mind, if you need to make any changes, there'll be an email coming out over the next week or so, at least probably once, maybe twice. Just reminding you, if you need to make any changes to your holiday schedules or anything, just reach out to us and we'll take care of that for you. There's also a questions tab, and don't forget, nobody can see the questions except for Kyle and I. So we promise not to embarrass anybody. And also remember that if you're thinking it, somebody else probably is too. If we can't answer it right now, we'll reach out to you after this is over. And you can always ping support again later, either by using the link in the links tab or just emailing support@votacall.com or calling our toll-free number. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm going to hand this back to Kyle now. So Kyle, take it away.
All right. I'm looking forward to some green bean casserole. All right. So call center agents, what are we looking at today? So we're going to do a portal overview. We'll show the features of call center agents. We'll share some tips and tricks. And of course, we have resources and training materials. So why use the My Votacall portal? Accesses everything, and you're going to see why. Specifically when it comes to call center agents, you're going to have more access than just using your phone or mobile app or web phone. You're going to have access to the stats, see the queues you're available in, who's available in those queues, how many callers are coming in. So this is a pretty big one for call center agents. And how do you access the portal? Go to myvotacall.com. Woo! And as a call center agent, what do you have access to? So you can have access to your statistics, your queue status toggle, making you available or unavailable in queues. You can also set away statuses such as lunch, break, or webinar. You'll have access to a vision analytics dashboard. You have the Votacall Go web phone, the Go mobile app, call recording if it's enabled for your organization, call reporting, call notes, visual voicemail, in our latest artificial intelligence feature, sentiment analysis, if again that's enabled for your organization. We did do a previous webinar on that one. So if you're curious about sentiment analysis and what that is, hop over to our webinar video library and take a peek at that one. Before we jump in, what is a call center agent? What does that mean? So yes, it is absolutely focused for call center environments, but it can be used in different ways. So a call center is just basically using a call queue. So you can assign a group of extensions, phones, users in a call queue. You can set that call queue to ring everybody simultaneously or in a round robin fashion, starting with the agent that's been idle longest. You can do tiered round robins. So there's different ways to manage queues. We use queues also for traditional ring groups. So you're probably using a call queue today and don't realize it. So really call queues give your agent the ability to log into the queue to take calls and log out. So it doesn't necessarily specifically have to be for call center environments. You could have a few receptionists and maybe one's going on break. So they log out of the reception queue. Another person logs in to take queues, take calls to cover for that person. So it can be used in different ways. So if you're curious and want to learn more about this, and maybe you're not sure if you're using one, reach out to support@votacall.com or myself or Dan, and we'll absolutely reach out and have a conversation. Anything you want to add there, Dan?
Nope, I thought you covered that really well.
Excellent. Woo. All right, so next thing, we're going to share my screen. All right, so let me pull my screen up here for you folks.
Okay.
All right, so I'm currently logged in as a call center agent. And right off the back here, you're going to see the queues I'm a part of. So I'm currently part of 3 different queues. You can see how those queues are set up. So I was just mentioning you can do a ring all, meaning it's going to ring all agents of that queue. You can have it set up as a round robin, tiered round robin, and so forth. Priority is if you have a tiered queue set up. So you can assign 1, 2, 3 to certain particular agents. So therefore, it's going to ring the people who have a priority of 1 first. If they don't answer after a certain amount of time, people that have a priority of 2 will ring next, and then 3, and so forth. You can also assign wrap-up time to agents, meaning once they end a call, they'll then have a certain amount of time before they become available. So if you have to wrap up whatever you're doing, maybe make notes on the account, do some paperwork or whatnot, you will have 30 seconds, and then you're automatically available back in the queue for the next call. So here you'll see this one set up for 30 seconds of wrap-up time, and that is, adjustable. You do 15, 30, a minute, and so forth. You will see how many callers are waiting in the queue, which is pretty neat. So if you do have any callers waiting, you can click on that, see the callers, who's in there. And here is where I can actually log in and out of particular queues. Now, you have 3 different devices, right? You're mainly going to be using. You're going to have your desk phone, the mobile app, and the web phone. So if you're using a desk phone, you will probably have a queue toggle button on your physical phone, but you can also toggle it from here in the queue. Now, this is where that accesses everything is pretty important, because once you're logged in the queue, you're going to have access to all of this. You're going to have all your information right here, where if you're just using a desk phone, you do not see that. So if you're going to be using a desk phone, it might be beneficial for you to also have the portal up to see your stats, how many calls are waiting, how many agents are available, and maybe toggle your status. So I'm going to go online here. I'm going to click where it says offline. You're going to see I became active in all 3 queues. I can log out of a queue if I want. So I can just stay, maybe I want to just stay in customer service. So I'm going to log out of support. So now I'm just taking customer service calls. I can log right back in by simply logging that button. And now I'm once again part of that support queue. I can click click online to go offline. But if you click the little down arrow over here, you have some options too. So say if you're going on lunch or break, you can set your status to lunch. You're going to see I'm now offline in lunch. Now, these statuses can be reported on by your call center supervisor. So they're going to be able to see, hey, you've been on lunch for 45 minutes or an hour. Shame. You need to come back 15 minutes sooner or whatnot. But you can report on those statuses at the supervisor level. Anything you want to add to that so far, Dan?
No, I think that covers most of what it is we're talking about here. So folks, I mean, as Kyle said, really what you're talking about is if you're using a physical phone, you don't need to log in here. This is not somewhere that you need to come. But it does give you some more flexibility that you didn't have from your phone itself, right? So on your phone itself, you can't log in and out of individual queues. You can just make yourself available or unavailable. Here you can come in and you can change the queues, just to do a quick summarize. And you can also take a look at your statistics, which Kyle's about to show you now. So.
So you'll see you have your stats here. So these are, again, your statistics. You can see these in a few different spots in the portal, the mobile app, and the web phone, which we'll show shortly. But you'll see how many calls you've taken, your average talk time, how many inbound calls, and also it'll track how many outbound calls you made as well. Down here, you can see your recent call history. You also have a call history tab up here, which we'll show shortly. But you'll see there's a little button over here too. So you can add notes to your calls. So if you wanted to add note that perhaps your supervisor will see, you can click add notes. You'll get this little pop-up so you can add a note to the call. And additionally, you can also do disposition codes. So these are custom. So if you want to tag your call specific things, maybe demo, customer service, returns, or whatnot, we can add those custom disposition codes for you, and then you can select that code from the drop-down, and therefore your supervisor will be able to see that from their call history tab as well. And over here is like a little bit more of your statistics. You can see how many calls per the last hour, day, 10 days, etc. So let's take a look. Next thing you have is messages. So you also have visual voicemail. So if somebody leaves you a voicemail, you can see that here. So depending on how you have your voicemail set up, you can have voicemail to email, voicemail in your mailbox, or both. But if you have that, you will see your voicemail here. You can read what the voicemail says. You can play it. You can delete it, download it, save it, forward it, and call it to play. So you see this. Apparently, I left myself a voicemail because I need to get my snowboard tuned because I'm hitting up the mountain this weekend. Woohoo! So now we'll take a look at the call history tab. So this is where we're going to see that artificial intelligence, the sentiment analysis doing its work right here, which is fantastic. Great tool. What it does, we're using AI to listen to your calls, and it's going to score those calls either positive, negative, or neutral. It'll also detect the topics, so you can see exactly at a quick glance what was the topic of the call. You'll see here this call was 8% positive, 92% neutral, and 0% negative. This one had some negative. The guy wasn't happy about his snowboard being damaged, so there's a little bit of negative there. You can get a little bit more fancy with the sentiment analysis. You can set up rules. You can have it send email alerts. Maybe, if a call is 15% negative, email certain people so you can find out what that negative call was all about. Great tool. Anything you want to add to sentiment analysis, Dan?
Yeah, if you click on the actual recording, Kyle. No, that's the download. Not to the right speaker. Oh, yeah, you can do it there too. Okay. It gives you those topics there. So you can see those there. You can also see the whole thing, and then you can download the transcript as well as listen to the call. Okay. So, it's good just to see that. You can see the back and forth. You can jump in. There's also a summary that can be shown, so your supervisor can see a summary of what the call was all about as well. And as Kyle said, we can also do some notifications on that stuff. So if there is a negative call, if somebody says a topic or word that you need to know about, like supervisor might be a good one. If somebody has to speak to a supervisor, your supervisor can be notified. They can go listen to that phone call. So good stuff in there for folks.
Absolutely. So let's take a little bit look at the call reporting. So there's a couple different tools. You have a vision analytics board. So I'm going to click on that. So I went back to the call center tab, vision analytics, and this is just going to be a default board. It's going to show the agents that are available in the queues, who's part of those queues, show you the calls handled, average talk time, calls handled, and it can do a little bit historical. So it's going to show you the same data, but within the last 2 weeks. Supervisors can create custom dashboards and share them with agents. Agents will only have the stock board here, but it does give you a little bit more visibility into the call queues themselves. Let's take a look at the web phone. So the web phone that agents will be using, you'll come up to apps and you'll have Votacall Go web phone. I already had it open already, so excuse me. So once you have the web phone up and running, you're going to see your call center tab. And you see right now I'm currently away at lunch, hence I toggled just a few minutes ago. I'm going to drag that, click on that, excuse me, and go back online. And now you'll see the queues I'm available in. I think the more you drag this out, the better too. And you can actually pin certain things too. So if I click on support queue, I can pin this here, and therefore I can keep it there, and I can see how many calls are waiting, how many agents are available in the call queue. And then here you also have the availability to toggle which queues you're a part of. So if I want to log out of the support one, just like we saw earlier, I'm logged out of that one. I can log right back in by clicking that button there. Let's see what else we want to show on here. So I'm going to call into the support queue so you guys get a visibility of what it looks like to call into the queue. So just give me a moment here. Now a call is coming in for the queue. I can easily answer that. Now I'm on an active call within the call queue. Then you have the ability to transfer calls, add a call for a three-way call. You can switch the device you're answering the call on. So if I'm talking on the web phone, but I want to move it to my desk phone, I can click switch phone. It'll recognize the active devices I have. So therefore I can seamlessly move it to the call. If you use park spots, you can put the call on park, which allows somebody else to pick up the call. So if I go ahead and click park call, I don't have any park spots created. So if we had park spots created, you'd be able to do that there. So just want to show you what it's like to actively answer a call on the call queue. And therefore, I'm going to be red and unavailable because I have 30 seconds of wrap-up time. So automatically after 30 seconds, my status will become available again for the next call. Anything you want to add here, Dan?
No, I mean, I think that's good. I mean, you can also go over to your stats if you want to show that, Kyle, and just show you how you can pin certain stats over on the right as well.
I knew. I was like, what was that other thing I needed to show? And that was it right there. My stats. So another place to see your stats. So you'll have your stats on your call center homepage. You got the vision analytics boards, and you can have them right here. And you can also add to your grid, which is going to pin it right over here. So if I click that, I can pin it, click away, and now I have that on my board as well. If I want to add calls per queue, I can add that one, pin it, click away, and then you can kind of drag these around and organize them the way you want to see your dashboard within your web phone.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the desk phone and how you can use the portal to help subsidize that. You can also use the portal when you're using the mobile as well. So you wouldn't need, the web phone. You can log into just the portal and go look at the same thing. So you're going to see Kyle's stats there on the call that he just took. And then you can also, Kyle, I think if you just want to just touch on, before I go to mobile, if you just want to touch on vision analytics boards.
Oh, yeah, I actually already showed that.
My apologies. I missed you. I think I was over here looking at my call center queues. So what I'll do then is I'll just go ahead and show you guys the mobile. I am going to show you my actual mobile phone. So with that in mind, I do apologize if I receive any kind of texts or anything like that. Usually it's pretty good, but things can happen. So just hang on one second. All right. So I am logged into the Votacall Go mobile, and I'm logged in as me. And you can see that I am currently offline. So there's a call center tab in here. Now, you may not see this call center tab if you log into mobile. It is something that we can enable for you. And if it's something you want us to enable for you, please just let us know and we can. Okay. And what it does is it gives you that call control. So right now I'm on my queues, which is a little hard to read there because I'm in dark mode, but I can also go to my stats. All right, where you can see that I've got the statistics for the last 12 hours, calls today, talk time, etc. Since this is my user and not the one Kyle was just showing you, you're seeing that I don't have any phone calls currently. You'll also see that something changed here. So a minute ago, customer service had no calls waiting, and now Kyle has actually called into the customer service queue and has gone ahead and place that call. So what I'm going to do is I can either go online here by clicking up in the upper right, or I could just come over to the queue itself and click on it and enable myself in it. So I just did that. So in just a moment, that call is going to ring through to me. So we'll just give it a second here. We're waiting for the system to see me as available. There it is. And you can see that I see Kyle's ringing in. I can go ahead and click on that. All right. And now I've got Kyle. And if you look at the top, it says call via customer service 1. All right. So I know that I received that call via customer service 1. That is the queue that I'm in right now, and I'm taking that phone call. So I'll go ahead and close out of here. All right. And now you'll see that I'm online in that one queue. I can bring myself online in some of the other queues as well. And then pull myself potentially out of customer service 1 and see that. Now, if I click to the left side instead of to the little, by the way, that's supposed to be like a door with me entering the queue and then a door with me leaving the room, right? So if on the left-hand side, I click customer service 1, I actually see the queue itself. So right now I see what calls are waiting. I can also go to agents and I can see who's available, who's not, and I could click on them. I can call Kyle or send him a message like, hey, can you log into this queue because I'm not available right now? Or I can go to my stats for the specific queue. So I took 1 call today, right? My talk time was 14 seconds. Okay, now I could go back again, and then I could bring myself up here. I can go offline, single call mode, yes, which is going to put me out for the day, lunch break meeting or other or web. So those same kind of those same characteristics you saw within the my Votacall portal and within the web phone, you also have here on the mobile device. This is helpful. I don't know whether I encourage using your mobile phone as your call center call phone. But it's great if you're in a DR type of situation. I mean, I would always encourage that you open up the web phone or use the physical device with the portal. But again, if you're in a situation where you need to run out for a minute, but you still need to man some queues, this is a great way to do that. It also, like I said, gives you the ability, let's say you run away from your desk for a minute and you forgot to log out, but you went to lunch. Well, you can jump into the queue, log yourself out, message somebody else and say, hey, I went to lunch. Can you jump into the queue and grab the calls for me? Again, so it can be very, very helpful in some real world situations. Okay. Now,
we got a question that came in. Can you just, what is DR? I'm sure you're talking about disaster
yeah,
recovery.
no problem. That's a great question. So that's disaster recovery. So you'll hear us sometimes say BCDR. That's business continuity disaster recovery. It means like the internet goes out at your place, but you still need to be taking your phone calls and you are a member of a call queue. You can jump in here and do that. So it just is about keeping your business running, even though maybe you're not making it to the office. I know a lot of the folks I see on here today are from the New England area. We've got some snowstorms that are going to roll. I think we're going to have a big winter here, Kyle. So when we talk about your snowboarding, I think it should be a good one for you. And I know John's on here too, who runs your team. So John, he's going to be playing hooky a bunch. Good snowstorms coming in. So and we've got, I think there's a big one actually in Vermont this weekend.
Yeah.
And they're talking 18 inches of fresh powder in 24 hours. So should be good skiing. So for you guys who are on here, again, you've got your mobile, all right. You've got your web phone. And then you've got your desk phone with My Votacall portal access. Now you can also go back into your call history in My Votacall and you can check on your call recordings. You can go listen to those. Again, Kyle shows you can add some notes. If you guys do turn on sentiment analysis, again, that's something that we turn on at our level for folks, and we can talk through, whoever's in charge of the phone system for you, if that's something you think you would like. But you can go in and you can see your scores there and see how, what percentage of the call was scored positive, negative. It'll pick up those keywords for you. And it'll also provide summaries. So I think that there's a lot there with the AI. We also have some new AI stuff coming out pretty soon that Kyle and I are going to be showing you within the next, 30 to 60 days, I think. So we're pretty excited there. And remember what I said, support is always included. If you guys find yourselves, please, for all you guys who are on here, please check in and figure out whether or not you've got your schedule set for next week. And if you don't, by all means, reach out to us. As always, we thank you guys for being here. Kyle, do you have anything else before we wrap up?
No, I think that about covers it. Just remember that the call center isn't specifically for call center environments. It can be used for different aspects, and we use call centers for reporting. So if you need specific reporting, we're most likely using the call queues to achieve that level of reporting that you're looking for. Hence, it's going to report on calls, how many calls come in, how many agents are available, what agents are taking a certain amount of calls, and so forth. So it's really going to be used for that reporting level as well. So it's not just customer centers; it can be used for many different aspects.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. Please fill in the poll. We'd love to know a little bit about some Thanksgiving meals here. I think I got to go with the mashed potatoes, but
It's a
you
tough
left
one.
off
Right?
gravy.
Oh, honestly, I
I
thought gravy
think
is just
my
a
favorite
given to
thing
put
would
gravy on everything.
Oh, I know you put gravy on everything, right? But I think that would make it my favorite thing.
I guess
But
just gravy.
I probably could sit down with a bowl of gravy. All
I
right.
think I
Anyway,
could
this
too.
is terrible. All right. So thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.